Hi and welcome to the guitar chord lesson for the song Tanha Dil. We'll be doing this lesson in 3 parts. First I'll show you the chord that you need to know, and I'll show it to you in bar chords as well as open chords using a device called a capo. And then we'll take a look at the strumming pattern and then we'll play along with the song. So the song is in C minor and there are really only 4 chords that you need to know. C minor, which you'll be playing over here. Then you need to know G minor, which you'll be playing over here. You need to know E flat major, which you'll be playing over here. It's not really a bar chord, so we're not playing the 6th string and the 1st string. All we are doing is playing the 5th, 4th, 3rd and the 2nd strings. And you also need to know F major. So C minor, G minor, E flat major and F major. Now if you want to know how to play these chords using open chords, what you need is a device called a capo, and we are going to attach it here on the 3rd fret, and now you can play the shapes of A minor. You have to assume that this capo is now the nut, so it has been moved over here, and this actually acts like a bar, so you can play the A minor shape over here, but it's actually producing the sounds of the chord C minor. So you need to play A minor instead of C minor. You need to play E minor shape over here, which will produce the same sound as G minor. You need to know C major. This will produce the same sound as E flat major. And you also need to know D major, which will be producing the sound of F major. So now let's check out the strumming pattern. I'll show it to you in a few ways, and we'll be using bar chords because the song has interesting rhythm pattern, and it would be nice if you can play bar chords. But if you're not comfortable playing bar chords, you can substitute them with open chords using the capo, which we just saw. But for the video, I'm just going to show it to you with bar chords. So this is how it will sound in C minor, and I'll first show it to you in the original speed, then I'll slow it down, and then I'll show you a few ways to play that. So here's how it will sound in C minor. So it's a fairly straightforward pattern, as you can see. I'll slow it down. So there is a downstroke with a muting effect on the string, so it should sound like this instead of like this. And I've already shown how you can mute the strings in some of my other lessons, and you should be able to do this quite smoothly by now. Then there's an upstroke, and there also we are going to mute the strings. So really there are just 2 strokes, a downstroke with a muting effect and an upstroke with a muting effect, and then you just keep following the same pattern. Now this is a very simple way of playing the chords. I'm going to show you another technique which is not exactly how it's been played in the song, but if you are practicing and playing on your own and you're singing along with it, it will sound very nice if you can do it this way. I'll show it to you first in the original speed, and then I'll slow it down so you can see what I'm doing. So here's how it will sound in C minor. So now before I explain to you step by step how you can play this pattern, let me first show you a few things that you need to know. First of all, you must know, for every chord, you must know the bass notes, and particularly you must know where the 1st note is played and the 5th note of the chord is played. So for example, when you're playing C minor, the note over here, which is the 3rd fret on the 5th string, is actually C, which is the 1st note of the chord. And the note here is G, which is the 5th note of the chord. In a similar fashion, for G minor, which is played here, the note here, which is the 3rd fret on the 1st string, is actually the 1st note of the chord, which is G. And this note here is actually D, which is the 5th note of the chord, G minor. So G and D. For F major, the bass notes on the 1st and the 5th bass note would follow the same pattern as it was for G minor. So this note over here is the first note of the chord, which is F, and this note here is the fifth note of the chord, which is C. E flat, if you're playing over here, the two notes which we'll be using are E flat and G. So now let me slow this down and explain to you what I'm doing. So once again, C minor, I'm going to play it very slowly. So as you can see, I'm playing a single note here, which is the third fret of the fifth string, and it's the note C, which incidentally is the first note of the chord C minor. I'm following that with a single downstroke on the full chord, which is C minor. Then again I'm playing a single note here, which is the note G, on the third fret of the sixth string, and I'm following that with a pattern of 3 strokes, up, down and up, alternating. So it's like this. And I'll play the entire pattern once again. So I'm going to play this pattern slowly, and then I'll increase the speed so you can play it along with me. And this is how it will sound in C minor. So now we know how to play this pattern with C minor. Let's see how we're going to play it with the other 3 chords. With G minor, the first note of the chord is actually here on the 6th string, and the 5th note of the chord is here on the 5th string. So the pattern will be again a single note, which is the note G here on the 6th string, followed by 1 stroke, followed by the single note here, which is on the 5th string at the 5th fret, and followed by a pattern of up, down and up strokes. So it should sound something like this. You will have a similar pattern for F. For E flat major, which we are playing over here, the first note, the first single note will be this one here on the 7th fret of the 5th string, followed by a downstroke, followed by this note here, which is on the 5th fret of the 4th string, again followed by the same pattern of up, down and up. So now that we know the chords in the strumming pattern, let's try and play along with the song. I'm going to try and switch between both the patterns that I showed you. You can play whichever pattern you are comfortable with, and I'll be showing it to you with the bar chords, but you can also play it with open chords using the capo.